So I'm going to say that this isn't bad news. This is great news. I know this means that Klon and KTR prices are going to start skyrocketing real soon. Those pedal stonks are going to go up. But yeah, I really hope any future live streams, etc., drop on that Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday area. For a lot of people who work in live sound or say are gigging musicians like a lot of Klon users are. Well, that didn't work out. Turns out I'm also busy on a lot of Tuesday nights. You might notice a background change and a difference in audio. It's going to be a while before I'm back home to be able to do a video like this. So I instead opted to steal away on my lunch break to record this real quick. We're going through Klon LLC's first official live stream on YouTube where he spills some interesting news. Let's go through it. Gonna have some fun. Putting on these Marshall headphones, or like Marshall something or another Mark II. They are awful. Don't buy them. And go. Why is it black?
10 minutes later.
Hey everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Just a first note, yeah, this volume for the voiceover is super low. Bill, if you need someone to help you out, feel free to send me your audio. I'll level it out. You know, I can knock out 2 or 3 videos for you, and you don't have to pay me. Maybe just toss me a KTR.
1970 non-master twin, a silver-faced twin.
You'll notice he said he's using a silver-faced twin reverb. That's really important. That's the sort of amp that these pedals were designed for. So, cool. He's really diving into a change on the pedals.
Anyone who just says, I'm going to put everything at noon and that'll be a fair test of this pedal versus this other pedal, that's not really the way it works. So try and, when you're doing comparisons, try and be mindful of potentiometer tolerance, because...
Yeah, I start at noon. He's totally right. Like, because of the tolerances between the pots, like, being at noon doesn't necessarily guarantee anything. I still use it as a starting point because I don't have a voltmeter. I'm not going to check and see that each one has the exact same stuff going on at noon. But the only other option is testing each one all the way down or all the way up, which is something I do. But yeah, you're always going to have to adjust to get that right sound. That's part of being a musician and a sound guy. You use your ears.
The 4, options here. This is straight through.
Yeah, that is way louder than his talking voice. Bill, seriously, I will gladly level your stuff out and do my best to leave the guitar tones unaffected, but just help bring your voice out. So that way your listeners don't have to turn the volume up and down depending on whether you're talking or if they're hearing the guitar. Just a thought. Totally, I'll do it. For KTR, please.
True bypass, to my mind, is not the way to go. Again, because of cable capacitance. So
that's true. The whole true bypass versus buffered debate is kind of ridiculous. It kind of just depends on what you need. But if he thinks that it needs it, it makes sense because the Klon is a treble boost. Why would you let other cables drag that down? Doing the buffered only helps maintain the high end that the Klon can introduce.
Off position, and now I guess we can turn on some pedals and start making some sound, making some noise. All right, so still bypass right now. Now I'm going to go Centaur. The circuit was never designed to be a gain monster circuit. That's not what it does.
That's totally right. A lot of people will listen to it just for that distortion sound. And me personally, the distortion sounds all right, but the clean boost and treble boost stuff is much more about what this pedal is about. The fact that he's testing these with the gain max tells me that, yeah, that's exactly the component he's going to be talking about. In this case, he's going to be talking about those diodes. Maybe it's just my imagination, but so far I think that middle KTR might be a little lower.
For example, the presentation of the mids is a tiny bit different from one to the next. Usually, but not always, you can iron that out completely and get them sounding absolutely indistinguishable from one to the next.
That's totally true, and that's why even when I did the Clone Wars, when we were comparing the Wish to the Tumnus to an original Klon, I never felt like we exceeded that 5%, margin. They were really close in all respects, to something where I was not convinced that it would be beyond the normal range of sound you might get from one Klon to the next. And I'm really glad he said that, because this is kind of one of the elephants in the room when it comes to shootouts against, original pedals, is who's to say which original pedal is the sound.
Let me do something fun. Hand me that box, Matt. Yeah.
He's got the box.
This is Centaur number 001. A friend of mine told me, a couple people told me that somebody or other, whoever owns 002, is trying to get some stupid amount of money for it.
I like how he says, whoever owns 002 is trying to get some stupid amount for it. That's Daddy JHS who's trying to sell it. I thought they knew each other or something. Also, how could he not know that 002 selling for $500,000 on Reverb was a joke?
I'd show everyone 001. I made this right around the same time. It was in some interview or something where I explained that when I made the first 18, my typical batch, 16, my typical batch was 16 because that's how many I could build on my folding card table. When I built the first 16, I had to sell them all because I needed to pay rent and, Klon invoices and stuff like that. So I built those, I serialized those 002 to 017. And because I knew I wanted to keep 001, and I couldn't really do that. I needed to sell everything I built, kind of keep the wolf from the door. So,
maybe I misunderstand, but does that mean that 002 is actually the first one? No.
I've got expensive house repairs in my future, and so if anyone wants to get all crazy and make a play for 001, you can email me and we'll figure it out.
How much could serial number 001 really go for? 002 they were trying to sell for about $500,000 on Reverb. It was mostly as a joke, but 001 from the original maker, Bill Finnegan, let's say he signed it. Ooh, I could see 7 figures on that. Is it my imagination, or is the first Klon goosed a little on the volume to give a little bit of that oomph?
We're getting to the point of this live stream event. I've got an announcement to make regarding future KTR production. And there's good news and there's bad news here. So, first the bad news. The bad news is after literally just shy of 27 years of Klon production, Centaurs initially for 15 years and then KTRs thereafter, with the occasional Centaur, I am coming down to the very end of my stock of the new old stock diodes that have been in all of these units since the beginning. So going forward, KTRs are going to have different clipping diodes.
So I'm going to say that this isn't bad news. This is great news. I know this means that Klon and KTR prices are going to start skyrocketing real soon. Those pedal stonks are going to go up. But overall, this means that we'll finally be able to get more KTRs on the market at a reasonable price. And here's the thing. I know he cares a lot about that diode. I'm not trying to say that it's not important. But like he also said, they're not supposed to be heavy gain machines. And as I understand it, and I guess someone will tell me if I'm wrong, you don't even hear those clipping diodes until that gain knob is at like 1 or 2 o'clock anyway. For me, the way I use it, I don't even use those diodes. Meanwhile, when I did my video comparing, the Wish Klon clone and the Wampler Tumnus to an original Klon, what stuck out to me wasn't even the distortion sound. I thought they were all pretty dang close, again, within that 5% tolerance of, range of sounds. But what the Klon had that they didn't was a certain roundness on the low end. It reminds me of like a Puke Tech when you had both the attenuation and the bass boost up at the same time. And likewise, like a Puke Tech, the way that an original Klon pushed that treble, it had all the same treble boosting abilities, obviously, as original. But it did it way better. It was like it boosted all the way and there was a lot of treble, But unlike the two clones, it wasn't harsh. I think Bob Charles said it was kind of a sweeter sound. And yeah, to me, little details like that are way more important to what makes a Klon, what sets the original apart from the rest of the clones. Now, I can't say that it has to do with particular parts or build quality or anything like that, but the way it breaks up is kind of a lesser concern to me. And I think it is to most players. I don't think most people use it where it's dialed up like he was testing it just now. So yeah, this is great news. We're going to get more Klons on the market at a reasonable price. And yeah, this is good. I hope that means we're getting more of them on the market soon. Seems like KTRs, as soon as they come on the market, leave the market. And to be clear, aside from the fact that there's so much more going on with the Klon than the way it sounds when it distorts from those diodes, these diodes have an outrageous amount of like mysticism and hype around them that makes no sense. In fact, that's why I made the Secret Klon Diodes video I did. It's a satirical video because I'm just making fun of how much hype there is around this. The circuit is amazing. Bill Finnegan's design is amazing. The build quality is amazing. The diodes is just one small part of that, if you ask me. So yeah, if the diode is going to go, then I'm glad it's happening while Bill Finnegan is still on the game and dictating how it's going to change, because he knows exactly what would need to change to make this happen. This is great. I can't wait to buy a KTR for $270. Please, I'll buy two for $540. Please, speculative pedal stonks buyers, don't ruin this for the rest of us. Okay, let's keep listening.
The new KTRs, new production KTRs going forward, not only are the diodes going to be different, but I had to modify the circuit. So there are some modified values in order to make the diodes that are going to be in KTRs going forward so that the overall result ends up sounding the same. And that was an awful lot of hard work over the course of like maybe 3-4 months.
Awesome. I think we can trust Bill more than anyone else to know what to change in a Klon circuit to make sure it sounds the same.
Again, it was hard work, a lot of hard analytical work, but we got there in the end. So that's kind of it, I think. We can do a little bit more listening if you want. You want to play a little bit more?
Yeah, let's go.
And we can do that. And I'll just leave 001 in there for the hell of it. I don't see any reason not to. So, cool.
All right. Yeah, at first I was pretty sure that the KTR in the middle was the new circuit design. Like, it sounded a little off, but as soon as he made some quick changes, I can't tell the difference between the two anymore.
So, I'm not sure there's a whole lot more to be done, but so I think that's kind of it. Thanks so much for tuning in, as it were. I appreciate it, and any other updates, I'll keep you guys posted.
Well, there you have it. I think this is all good news. I mean, now we don't need to worry about those diodes anymore. Ideally, this means that there'll be more KTRs on the market for longer. Maybe we can all pick up some at the original price of $270 a pop. Wouldn't that be amazing? Obviously, the Klons and first run of KTRs are going to go up in price. That's just what happens. One little side note. While I couldn't actually watch this live, I did record it happening because I was just kind of curious what was going on. As you can see, it reached around 450 watchers, which is pretty impressive. And now when we look at it, it's got 4,500 views. Well, I'm not great at predicting things. I would say within the month, Bill Finnegan and the Klon LLC YouTube channel will have both enough subscribers, well, they already have enough subscribers, and enough watch time, i.e. 4,000 watched hours, to be able to monetize right away and start getting in on that AdSense stuff and other things. And to put it in perspective, I've been working pretty consistently at this for over a year now, and I'm at 2.6 thousand hours watch time, and I got 359 subscribers now, up 10% from when I first released a video talking about Klon LLC YouTube channel. And by all means, Bill Finnegan deserves any modicum of easy success he can get anywhere after having done the clones for so long and seen so little for it. But it just reminds me of that scene from Orange is the New Black where all the inmates are digging a ditch for some reason because some equipment broke. Then they finally fixed the equipment, and what took them all day, that piece of equipment knocked out 4 times that in like 15 minutes. So yeah, we're all going to keep trucking. And to be sure, a rising tide floats all the ships. Bill Finnegan starting up the Klon LLC channel, as well as then having some issues when he first tried to do the live stream, gave me a much needed boost. My subscriber count has gone up 10% since that video, and that was a week ago today. So that's pretty cool. Bill, Mr. Finnegan, I'm pretty sure you don't watch this, but I'm really excited about this news. I really want to get my hands on a real deal KTR or 2. Hey, if you do want any freelance work, working with your audio or possibly any sort of video editing stuff, hit me up. I will work for a KTR. I'll work harder for a Klon. Probably can't earn that original Klon from you. I hope you get a lot of money for that. But another Golden Horsey Professional Overdrive Centaur from Bill Finnegan, signed. I promise I'll never sell it. And if I sell it, I have to give you the profit I make. I'll sign a contract for that, seriously. In the meantime, everybody, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I got more Klon content coming up soon. I was actually working on it before all this popped up. This is just a happy happenstance. There's going to be a solid 5 to 6 videos because we have a lot of little topics we can talk about, and I think they're all incredibly edifying. The first one's going to be really fun. Subscribe, comment, like, share, do the things, help with the metric. I'm now counting down for that last 20 seconds, except I can't see like a watch, so I don't know how much longer we got. You should totally click whatever suggested video comes up here, or the one that's probably going to show up right over my face because that's what happens. Also, again, hit that subscribe button, and in the meantime, take it easy. Yeah, it's really hot in here. I'm sorry to see me sweat so much. Next videos, I'll definitely be back in my studio.